Hello and welcome. We are going to be playing in the challenge today. It's May 25th. I'm going to jump right over to because the challenge begins in about 2 minutes here. About 2 minutes, as you can see right here. Minute and 30. So this will be the quick match one and intro deck tech. What do we have here? We're going for the third time getting top 16. That is our goal again today. Hitting top 16. We have the Karn package. We've made one or two slight adjustments and we're trying to avoid certain decks. So let's talk about the adjustments mainly over the actual deck. Deck itself is Pyro Prison, Lock Pieces, Chandra's, Karn. It has a sideboard, a liquid metal, lattice, all that. We have a Goblin Cratermaker now. This is a little bit of a new addition to be a little more aggressive if we don't need the Abrade or the 2 damage, but also we have that option. We did cut one Slagstorm for that. Sideboard, we have 4 Eidolons. I don't believe that's a change from last time, but we have 2 Banefires this time. We are trying to beat blue-white. We expect a little bit more blue-white in this challenge than maybe before. Decks we might want to avoid here probably include Jund and Rock because, and that's black-green Rock, because we don't have Hazoret. Let's see here. We do have Tormod's Crypt. We're good for Phoenix because of Eidolons and Tormod's Crypts. Yeah, I think that's my main worry is Rock or Jund here in this one. Burn's difficult still, so I'd prefer to avoid Burn as well. Yeah, Naya strategies, creature strategies, Tron, all of those are fine, I think. Affinity and Hardened Scales would be fine as well. But let's just see what we run into. Match 1. That was your short deck tech, and now let's play some Magic. At least it says it's starting. Starting soon here. 117 players, I believe. And we're against what looks to be Dredge here, round 1. I believe that should be 7 rounds, but I will double check that after the match. I'm saying that this might be Dredge because it's Sodek. Sodek does play a lot of Dredge. Doesn't mean he is on Dredge, though. And we'll see. We'll see if also Karn in the description over there under me stays up to date with us. That'll be the hope and dream here. If it is Dredge, I think I might entertain the Banefires coming in. But I'm not sure. I'm not sure. We have a couple of different ideas for sideboards if we do fight blue-white. In some ways, that would be a victory in itself to have guessed the meta correctly. So we'll see. We'll see. I imagine Sodek is running back to the computer. While we do that, we should be able to... Oh no, the dog. The morning. She may bark a little bit. Dog warning. All right, let's look at this really quick. Number of Swiss rounds. And we'll return to our game. What was it? 117 players should be 7 rounds. There you go, 7 rounds. So today's event will be 7 rounds. We do plan to play all those. We could bail out early. We will see. The likelihood of bailing out early would be going X and 3, for example. If we're X and 3, I may play something totally different and include it in the upload of the videos. The other thing we may be doing here, as we're waiting for our opponent, is we may be... I like this hand against Dredge. We may be... For lack of better terms... Well... We'll just leave it. We'll just leave it. We have forgotten what we were talking about. We see the hand. We're ready to play Magic. We're going to keep this. I am going to ditch this Chalice here. I'm expecting my opponent to be on Dredge because of the type of opponent they are. I'd like to keep this Abrade instead. So we're gonna go that route. Guesstimate that my opponent is on Dredge because that's what they typically are on. And I think we might be right. Legion Warboss on 1 here is probably the fastest I can get. Golgari Thug's good. Confligate's not the best to see here. But we'll go ahead and Warboss here, get in some damage. If they want to confligate right away, they certainly can. I have a Cratermaker behind this, not the best. Alright, so we have a Narcomoeba showing up here. Narcomoeba, I'm assuming a land. They might Conflagate right behind this. I assume they have the land because they did Dredge. And this would be for 4. So that could kill these 2 and 1 damage to us. I think I'm okay with that. It's not ideal, but I think I'm okay with it because then that's not like 7 or 8 damage to our face later. And that is a problem for us. We probably just run out Cratermaker next, unless we top deck say a Warboss or a Rabblemaster. Then I will ritual it out. The hand is okay against our opponent. Definitely could be doing something a little bit better here. The other question is obviously what cards do they have? If they have a Golgari Thug and 3 others, if that's all they're pitching, maybe it's not worth it for this turn. Maybe they should be Life from the Loaming or something. They do Conflagate us though. And we do top deck the Rabblemaster. Now we have a Golgari Thug here. We have another Narcomoeba, a Faithless Looting, and they have 1 card in hand. I'm going to go ahead and go for Rabblemaster here. I doubt they block here, and this Abrade's looking better. By the way, pitching our Chalice at the very beginning was smart. We do have them dredging Golgari Thug, and they have this Creeping Chill going off here. We do see a Dark Blast over here. We need to keep that in mind for Narcomoeba problems. So they have Golgari Thug, Bloodstained Mire. Going to be back on defense, I think, here. If I draw a land, I might Cratermaker here. I'm also a little bit worried about them actually having another Dark Blast. Oh, I don't need to worry about this. This is fine. Alright, we're going to slam in here for some good damage. Good damages. We're going to put Cratermaker behind this and use Abrade to remove an obstacle. If we have to remove 2 obstacles, we'll have the Ritual for an Abrade and a Cratermaker use. Cratermaker getting in, though, would help Rabblemaster. 2 cards. One of them was their Dredge card from last turn, which was the Dredge of Golgari Thug. So they have Golgari Thug in hand plus an unknown. Fetch, no shock here. Opponent's at 11. Golgari Thug's probably going to be dredged here. We're in a good position. They dredge Golgari Thug. They do hit a Creeping Chill here, so they have 2 Golgari Thugs. 2 Golgari Thugs and an unknown card here. Trying to keep track of all that because this is going to be probably important. I'm expecting... Oh, no. Going further with Stinkweed now being used, and... I almost don't want them to hit anything, although it looks like they have Dark Blast or Life from Loam. They do hit a Narcomoeba here, and a Creeping Chill. Golgari Thug's here. They don't have another Golgari Thug. They did double Stinkweed there. Land, alright. Their Dark Blast is missing, by the way. Which is probably what they have in hand. If I kill and kill, which I can do, I'm going to get in for 1, 2, a third. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I get in for 8 and they'd be at 9. They'd be at 9. We're through 3 Creeping Chills. They don't have a... They do have a Faithless. You have a Golgari Thug and a Stinkweed over here. Let's double check that they dredged Dark Blast. They do have a Dark Blast in hand. Dredge ability from Dark Blast. So they have -1/-1 here. -1/-1 just takes care of a Goblin. They double block here. If they block 1 and 1, I can use a Goblin to get rid of this and hold the Abrade. Do I expect them to do that? If they're going to double block Rabblemaster, then I'm in trouble. You know what? I don't think we win just by picking these off right now. I think I'm going to swing with everything here and see how they block. And then if I have to, we're not getting in with our extra damage here. I'm almost thinking they're going to do 1 and 1 because they have the Dark Blast. They don't. Alright. Let's go ahead and get rid of some stuff here. I don't want to lose Rabblemaster to a Dark Blast here. So we only get in for 3, but I retain my Rabblemaster. I give them the opportunity to block a little bit loosely there. Obviously, we don't get in for as much damage. I think the line is okay. We get in for an additional 5, not 6. And we'd have them at 9. We'll see if that matters. Maybe 8 if they fetch. The trick is to see if this Faithless Looting does anything. And I say 8. They're going to be able to pick one of these off with a Dark Blast that they have in hand. So they're at a figurative 8 if we would have done the other approach. We'll keep that in mind here. This is probably one of the harder Dredge opponents we could actually face. There's a couple Bloodghasts here. They dredged a Life from the Loam, so they're going to Life from the Loam get the Bloodghast back. Which actually, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 puts us to 3. So we would be at 3 regardless here because they'd probably be swinging in. Faithless Looting. So if they hit a Creeping Chill, they just win here. There's a Confligate. If they're worried, they just leave Prized Amalgam back. They have the Narc Amoeba as well now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10. We would do 10 here. We would do 10, which would kill them because they'd be at figurative 8. But if they leave both of these back, there's probably no top deck card that would get us there. The other thing is they do have just Confligate that they've milled over here with their Dredge ability. So they actually just Life from the Loam and Confligate us next turn anyway. So even if they're at 8, they just have these two attack, block here very aggressively. And then they dredge Life from the Loam and kill us next turn. So my opponent has the win, and I think they have the win regardless of what our top deck was. If our top deck was, say, Chandra, and they only left 1 back, maybe we'd have a shot at this. Because we're going to go to 3. So they would have been at 8. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's 10. That's kind of a bummer. We actually top decked the Chandra. So our other line would have worked because of what we top decked. Bummer. That's a bummer. That is a bummer. Because they wouldn't have fetched. They'd have a Dark Blast there. I don't think it matters, though. There's a lot of Bloodghast coming back. So if we would have seen a little bit further into the future there, we might have had a line. I think if they were at 8, there's a part of me that thinks that they wouldn't have attacked with a Prized Amalgam as well, in fear of a removal. Alright, we're going to have to go to Game 2 and Game 3 and win it, which we can. It'll be a little bit harder, though. A little bit harder. We got to be aggro, though. I think we can. Alright, let's see here. So Angers can come in here. I'm afraid to play Eidolons because they can just Creeping Chill us out of the game. The Torpor Orbs are interesting here, and the Tormod Script's interesting. What am I pulling out here? It's probably a pair of Chalices. We might leave a pair in. Singleton Blood Moon. Slagstorm's interesting. The Abrades aren't as powerful. I can pull probably one of those out. That's 4. Probably a couple Karns here, especially if I'm going to bring the Tormod's Crypt in. Karn will just go get, say, Bridge, Liquid Metal, or Lattice. Question is Banefire worth it here? We probably don't get enough frequently enough. Let's take one Bridge out and bring a Karn back. This is tough. This is tough because knowing our opponent's a very good player, we can't hedge one way or the other. We gotta hit all of our cards when we hit them. I'm bringing these in, these out. I'm really staring at this Banefire here. I'm wondering, so Chandra can do 4 over 2 turns. This on 4 would do 3 damage. I'm almost tempted to take one more Blood Moon out and bring a Banefire in and try this. I'm kind of okay with attempting this. I do think, though, if my opponent was at 8, they would not have attacked with that Prized Amalgam. Because they could have done 4 and taken us to 7, and then they would have had Life in the Loam plus a Flyer. Just can't imagine that would be a thing they'd want to do. Alright, we have a couple Karns here, and we have a Torpor Orb. I'm going to loosely keep this. We can look for the top here. Scry 1. If they go their game plan here, where maybe a World of Hurt. If we get a ritual effect of some sorts, maybe we're ritualing out Karn based on what the graveyard looks like. Go get something. Keep in mind that Tormod's Crypt is not in the sideboard currently. This is going to be a tough one. You might have quite a challenge here. Bridge is an interesting one. I'm going to bottom Bridge. I don't think that's what I want to be doing on turn 2, turn 3, turn 4. Expecting... Oh, alright. No Faithless Looting. Which is a little bit good for us. Gemstone's a turn late. We're going to go ahead and Torpor Orb here. This way, if they do get some creatures going, then we're kind of safe here. There's a Creeping Chill. We could also use Karn, go get Chalice, put Chalice on 2, and then worry about this Bridge right behind it. It's a Lightning Axe. Okay. Not hitting anything. Good for us. Good for us. Lightning Axe is a thing that can tag Rabblemaster. Seeing one here makes us feel a little safer. Trying to think, if I were to spike a ritual effect, am I going to even bother putting out Karn? Maybe if they miss on land, I would. If they miss on land, then I can go get Liquid Metal Coating and Karn. Lightning Axe hits creatures, I believe? Yes. Not that my opponent necessarily needs. Doesn't necessarily need a lot of lands to function. But if they don't have much here. Missing on a mill of 6 here is a little bit... Or mill of 4. Top 2. Maybe they didn't quite plan to miss. Wooded Foothills. Cracks. We have green mana. Are they going to shock this in? They do. Do they care about this Tormod's Crypt? Currently, no. Bloodghast and a Prized Amalgam here. Alright. Well, looks like we're going to just Rabblemaster here and swing in. No other actions. Stinkweed and Golgari Thug. They finally hit some stuff here. It's pretty good for them. Narcomoeba. Narcomoeba's not going to trigger Prized Amalgam, luckily, and neither is Bloodghast. Unless they have a Nature's Claim here. I'm probably having to go get Bridge or Chalice here for my Karn use. Maybe a little bit of a shame that I don't have the Tormod script. I could be going and getting that next turn and clearing out the graveyard. They'd only have maybe Bloodghast and Narcomoeba. This long pause here makes me think they have a Nature's Claim. If they have a Nature's Claim, they're planning to kill this Narcomoeba, allow it to hit, and get the Prize Amalgam back. If they have black represented, we are afraid of a Dark Blast, but if they don't, we just slam in here. This looks like it's a... Alright. It's an Ancient Grudge to kill our Torpor Orb here so that they get the Prize Amalgam trigger. That tells me they probably don't have a land as well. Because if they had a land, they could definitely just... That would be their next thing to do. Alright, we're going to get in here. They're going to block. We're definitely doing Karn here. I think I have to go get something. I doubt they're attacking here. And I think this time around, it might be just Chalice. If it was Tormod script, I think this game would be over. It's a Creeping Chill. I'm not thrilled to see a Creeping Chill, but I'm not disappointed either. That is appears to be the only thing they hit. If they don't come swinging in here, then maybe we can do something else with this Chalice. Put it on 1 maybe, and then go fetch another Chalice. Putting it on 1 though, I guess, is bad for the Ancient Grudge. I think I have to put it on 2. Goodness gracious. There's a Conflag. Putting on a 2 stops the life from the loam, which is maybe not a bad idea with this Confligate out here. Man, they hit another Narcomoeba too. So not having Tormod script in the sideboard here is hurting us quite a bit, it seems. We'll see if they attack here. We are at 14. This has to go on 2. Alright, they do decide to kill Karn here. Drawing all lands. So how are we winning here? If I play Karn out, it's probably getting tagged with Confligate. I probably need to just worry about Chalice on 2 this turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That would be 6 for Karn. We're going to leave Rabblemaster back just for this turn. If they decide not to go totally at our Rabblemaster here, we could Karn downtick, protect it, and then try to lattice them or bridge. It's unlikely that this survives, but I think this is our line now. 2 Creeping Chills down. Conflag hits 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They can't life from the loam to get more lands, so it's not going to be a gigantic conflict. Great, which is maybe a nice thing. There's another Ancient Grudge here. A bunch of Faithless Lootings. Bloodghast. Probably our best top deck at this point is Anger the Gods. Assuming that they do something with like maybe Confligate here and get in for just a solid 6 damage here, putting us to 8. Then we Anger, Karn, Bridge, Lattice is probably our out at this point. It's probably our out, I think. Anger, Karn into Bridge, Karn into Lattice is probably our out. Because this will be Confligate, no, number 1 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah. 6, 7. 12, 10, 6. This actually puts us dead to 2 Creeping Chills. So even Anger, Karn, Lattice, Bridge, some sequence of that. Actually, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Never mind. Never mind. Forgot that the Bloodghast would be turned on here at 10. Even so, the chances of getting out here are very, very slim here. Braid would not do it. Neither would Banefire. There's our Anger. So we need to have drawn 3 deep. Then Blood Moon, and then Rabblemaster. Alright. That'll do it, though. That's match 1. We got an uphill battle. And like I said, if we tank out here, maybe we'll play something a little bit interesting and get that in the uploads as well. See you in the next match.